very welcome to you, all the way from Brazil. Would you please do me the honor to unwrap the book?
Wow, thank you very much.
You're welcome. So maybe you can tell me, what is your connection to listening?
I think that listening is probably one of the highest and strongest challenges that we have today. Since I am so convinced of what I think or what I believe and my own ideas, I tend to project that around myself. And instead of creating bridges and connections, this ends up opening up channels only to people that think like me, and not necessarily creating real inclusive bonds and connections. To me, this has been always so real, so present, that I have tried, I have strived, and I have fought with myself to learn how to listen.
You're touching the surface indeed of how deep listening is. We are able to listen from different perspectives, of different orientations, from the ego perspective, from the perspective of the personality, and from the perspective of our essence. And some people may call this the soul or a universal aspect of people. And if you can switch between those three orientations, you really start to get rid of what I call it distortion at any level. Can you please share me your experience with listening from those three different perspectives?
My first inner challenge to be able to see those different instances, not necessarily change or migrate from one of those poles, but to integrate them. I think that's really the biggest challenge, is to get rid of the image of being able to listen to the silence first. And really here, when we say a state of listening, in essence, what we are saying, a state of consciousness. So shifting from one state of consciousness into the other. The first challenge is to pay attention to the noise. Because we want to listen others, and we want to listen to the world, and even we want to listen to ourselves, but without truly listening. We are looking for the mirror of our own being. You realize that all that noise, your thoughts, your emotions, your desires, the agitations of your lives, your tasks, your schedule, your projects, whatever, they are not you. They are tools. And in the moment you realize that, then the quality or the level of your listening shifts. You are not outside of yourself anymore. You take one step within. And at the same time that you listen to yourself or the noise inside of yourself, then you can, maybe for the first time, start to listen to the others around you. Because before that, their voices and your own inner voices were mixed, and you were not truly listening to them because you could not listen to yourself. So in the moment you do that, then this silent observer that many talk about, it awakens. And when you see that, at the same time, you regain the ability to listen. So there's a small space of silence, but there is a much deeper silence inside of yourself. And when you you conquer that space of self-perception, at least in my experience, Victor. It's when you can see by yourself, through your own experience, those three different levels. When you see all that, or when you listen to all that, then the three can become one. And it's all integrated.
What you say now adds up to what I described in the book, because you say it becomes one.
You may be a clerk or a president in a company. It doesn't matter. Okay. We are servants. And we are servants or something very special that is unique, but it belongs to everybody, and it is everywhere. It is the universal intelligence. But as you were saying at the very beginning, we tend to build a wall between this source of universal intelligence that we can call the real self, the voice of the silence, and this self with a capital S, right? That is the source of the self with the small s. They are totally disconnected in the way we live by a mirror that is like a polarized window, because the small self see only the reflection of itself. But the real self is projecting light all over. But we don't listen to it. And the real effort, the real task is when we listen to what is really happening. And we are not listening to our own thoughts or desires or images, but we really become silent. This mirror of our thoughts, they become translucid, transparent, or like a membrane that is able to receive this silent sound. And then we realize we are serving this universal intelligence. When we do that, then in everything we do, the real dimensions of our lives, they open up. And that's when we can become truly change agents in the world. And in the moment that you wake up to that, you rescue that true leadership that is awaiting for you to be used in your life. Not the leadership of the ego, but the leadership of the intelligence, the universal intelligence all around you, that is waiting you to become an agent of it.
You just mentioned the essence of the title of the book, because it's all about this leadership. What if people in organizations are starting to listen in this way to that inner voice of silence? What will happen in organizations, do you think?
I think that everybody yearns for purpose. And it's so great when we realize that our organizations can be catalysts of purpose. And in the moment that we dare rising to that next level, speaking about purpose, real purpose, then I believe we can transform organizations. So organizations can become organic structures, filled with purpose, filled with intelligence and real connections. That's, in my opinion, the paradigm shift that we have to embark on wholeheartedly, with confidence, That is, the paradigm of shifting an external life of buying, selling, producing, thinking, organizing into something living, a real living society where purpose is the real currency. The wise men of the past would say the universe and the micro universe of a human life, they are the same. We create boundaries, but there are no boundaries. And what we see as frontiers, actually, they are, surfaces of contact and integration. Think about our own body, trillions of cells, right? At the cell level, we may be totally, let's say, immersed in that tiny little context of surviving. In antiquity, the spaces of transformation and reflection sometimes were the temples, the libraries, etc. Today, those spaces are the organizations, because that's where we spend most of our lives. If we are able to connect that instance of human life into that real inner instance, then the power of transformation, of this new state of understanding, of awareness, of consciousness, of listening, this will really transform the world.
Neto, this was beautiful. Thank you for this unwrapping session. I believe the essence of the book is said in this unwrapping. So it's free for the world now.
Thank you very much for this opportunity, Victor. And thank you for working on this book. Certainly, this will meet a real need of many, many people that intuitively understand that they need to take one step further. And certainly this will help them transform themselves into real new leaders. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.